Hello and welcome to the Luxury Lounge. That's right, every Thursday we head in the lounge, we shut the door, and we air our grievances with the world. And there's no grievance that's too big or too small or too frivolous. It's your problem, and it shall be heard. Now listen, if you want your problem to be discussed on this great show, send it to JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. That's JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. My guests and I will unpack your problems and find a way to find new problems for you and what you didn't even get mad at. We'll get mad with you. So that is the luxury of the lounge. You can bring anything in here. It doesn't even have to be luxurious. The luxury of the lounge is a place to hang your hat and get that complaint off of your chest. And now, listen, if you love the Luxury Lounge, that we do a Patreon version every Friday, patreon.com/Jared Freid. You can get involved with the lounge, and I guarantee, people said do that, guarantee, I guarantee your complaint will be read. That's the promise of the Patreon Luxury Lounge, patreon.com/Jared Freid. I'm on the road, people, and this is my last travel date before we head off to Europe. So I guess the month of April, I'm just chilling in New York. So I'll be all around New York. But if you're out here in Oklahoma City, that sounds like a place where people would say, guarantee. I'm there this weekend. I'm in Oklahoma City this weekend, so come on out, assemble the group chat. I would love to have a big group there. And then I go to Europe. So if you're listening in Europe anywhere, if you know people in Europe, if you have friends that have moved abroad and they're looking for maybe something to make them feel like home, that's one of those things. I get that a lot when I go on the road. And it doesn't matter where I go. You know, you'll go to like Oklahoma City, as I will be there this weekend, and they'll go, oh man, it was I moved here from the Northeast, and it was a taste of home. It made me feel like I was with family. That's my motto. When you hear your family, that's my motto.
I've heard it first here.
Right. You've never heard that. When you're at my show, your family. So you might have a friend that moved abroad. Let them know I'm coming. And I think some of the shows are sold out, which is insanity to me. But I'm coming to Dublin, Belfast, London, Copenhagen, Amsterdam, Berlin, Oslo, and then we've added to the calendar. Now, ready. These are new dates. Hit that bell, Shelby. Ding, ding, ding. I'm coming to Kansas City, Missouri, Nashville, Tennessee, Lexington, Kentucky, and I've gotten a lot of emails about coming to this place, and it's been a while. Charlotte, North Carolina, but you know we're already moving out to the fall 2023. Yeah. Like I'm already in Thanksgiving time.
Charlotte's a fun place.
It is a fun place.
It's a NASCAR place.
NASCAR place, banking place. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Weirdly, you know.
Yeah. NASCAR and banks.
NASCAR and banks. Yeah. That's synonymous. So I'm very excited for today's guest. Hilarious comic. He has a special coming out April 13th. It is called Biscuits and Gravity. So this is coming out before the special, so we want you all to go follow his YouTube channel. This is a part of it. This is what you call people are coming here to sell their wares. Yeah. Jason Salmon, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me, man. This is fun.
A pleasure.
Louisville, Kentucky, by the way. That is a guarantee.
That's
where they say guarantee.
Yeah. I should start putting things on the map. Guarantee place.
Oklahoma is like, what you doing here, place? You know, right. A little bit of that.
You're from Texas.
I'm from Texas, which is close to Oklahoma.
That is, if I hear, that's the thing, that is the northeast of it all. Where you go, oh, you're from, Missouri, you know Oklahoma. That's what I would say to people.
Yeah, it's weird because in those places, there's enough space that some people just never leave their state.
Right.
But I wasn't until I was a teenager that they're like, no, Oklahoma's like 50 miles from here.
And you would go, but there's like an Oklahoma-Texas rivalry.
There is, University of Texas, University of Oklahoma, yeah.
But then it kind of goes out to the states a little bit.
Yeah,
doesn't it? Like people are like
Texas sort of is the big player because because it's so big, huge.
Yeah,
and Oklahoma's always been sort of like the hey,
baby brother,
always
complex.
The one like poking you, like the little dog that jumps on the big dog, just trying, and the big dog just goes like that, and knocks it across the room.
Man, so Jason has a special. We want you to go to youtube.com/Jason Salmon, @Jason Salmon Comedy on Instagram. Go follow. Specials coming out. biscuits and gravity.
Yeah.
You said those are your two favorite things.
That basically sums up the two ends of my spectrum.
What about gravity? What is
gravity is just, I can't not go deep into stuff. Like that's like, I'm not great. I'm terrible with small talk. Like I sometimes study you when we're in comedy clubs. I'm like, I want to watch this guy.
I'm a small talk guy.
You're a dude that like you can can go boom, 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 go right into a conversation.
In and out.
I'm like, okay, let me see what he's doing here.
Right.
Because I have a hard time not being one-on-one across a table from somebody,
that
drinking
feels
a glass
very
of red
Texan
wine.
To me.
Yeah,
we're gonna dig in.
We're
gonna make severe eye
Put
contact.
on our emotional spurs.
Right.
That's what we're doing.
And really dig in, and we're gonna talk. I want to hear about your family.
I want to know.
Right. So you do that? Do you have people? I would imagine if you're that guy.
Yeah.
Can you tell when people are like, I can't do this right now?
Here's the thing: is I don't lead with that. I always go into a receiving mode when it's like, I'm one of those guys who can go, hey, how's it going? And I'll have somebody immediately, for whatever reason. It's like seeing a golden retriever or something. They're like, I just want to pet you.
Really?
And so like I get this weird like emotional, like I just want to dump this on you.
You're corner of the party guy.
I sort of am. Yeah.
Corner of the party guy.
Favorite part of the party.
It's a good spot in the party.
Find the couch.
But there's a moment in the party where people go,
yeah.
Has Jason been talking to Jack all night?
All night.
Do you have that with your...
I do. I've had people leave. And I remember in college was the first time, because I almost went to college. I went to college for engineering. I almost went to college for psychology. And it was like, where's the money? Because
wait a minute.
It was all based on...
Those are two sides of the brain,
Two sides of the brain. Biscuits and the gravity.
That's right. It all comes back to biscuits and gravity.
That's what it is.
So wait, you almost went for psychology.
Almost went for psychology. Yeah, I came in third place to this 2-person scholarship thing at the School for Psychology, which was Dallas Baptist University. It was a great psychology program.
Yeah.
And I ended up going to Texas A&M because I got more money to go there for engineering. Yeah.
So this is one of those things where I feel stupid. I think back on my life. You ever think back to your life and you're like, people were talking about this? I remember coming to college and I was like, wait, how do you know what engineering is?
Yeah.
I went to college being like, oh, I'm going to drink and watch football. Like that was my thought on college. It makes me feel dumb. I remember being in my fraternity and being with guys who were like, yeah, I was like, how'd you even hear of engineering?
Well, weirdly enough, I was prepared to go to college and drink and watch football. Unfortunately, I chose engineering.
Sure, and then that takes you out of that game.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm really good at math. I mean, legitimately, I didn't know much about engineering. I'm like, I'm really good at math.
Does a high school teacher pull you aside and go, you're really good at math, you should think about engineering?
I won awards in math and stuff.
Math awards?
I got a perfect SAT score in math.
So how do you say to your parents, I'm going to be a comedian?
You phase them into it.
Okay.
This is where the emotional stuff comes in.
Because if I have a math kid, I'm like, okay, at least we're out of the arts.
Right.
Like, thank goodness.
Yes. My parents, weirdly enough, were both teachers or both in education. My dad was a principal. My mom was a teacher.
Okay.
So they...
At the same school?
No, different schools. Different cities.
That'd be scandalous.
Different cities, yeah. Yeah. So it was one of those things where both of them had seen every incarnation of good and bad in every...
kid.
Which made them great parents.
Right.
Because their entire 9 to 5 was a training ground for them to come home and go, oh, I saw this
Seen
twice
this
today.
one. We've done this drill.
I benefited from all the mistakes they made with their students.
It's like having 1,000 siblings.
Yeah. And they all get the first run of every situation.
You did what? And then you do it, and they go, you did that. Okay.
It's like if you before COVID, if you're like, oh, you work in virology, you can tell me exactly what to do. I'm not worried about this at all.
Right. That's an interesting. I never thought of the teacher parent being just like totally numb to any craziness a child would do.
Right. And they just knew how to immediately ask me a question. They would ask me a question and I would go, I just want to gossip.
Yeah, I had the total opposite childhood. My childhood was like, you did what? Just immediate screaming. And you'd be like, I don't know, I put the underwear in the hamper. Which hamper? are. And you're like, you put it in the wrong hamper? Like, this was, and you go, okay. And like, now my mom's like, you're so sensitive. And it's like, because, yeah, you spend a lifetime going, to everything, whether it was a bug in the house or a death.
It's just a lifetime of reacting to like horror movie moments.
Teacher goes, we've seen this.
We'll do it.
He put the clothes in the wrong hamper because he's going through puberty. He's hiding his underwear. He fucking shit his pants. Right. We've seen this, like
exactly.
Well, listen, I'm pumped you're here. I'm pumped for their special. Listen, people, I explain this a lot. Notice the trend. We have these comics coming on, pushing their specials. We want you to make it a date night. What a perfect thing to like. There is an art piece out there for you to just enjoy. And all we ask is to watch. If you loved it, share it. If you liked it, give a like. If you have a comment to make, comment. This is all the churn of praying to Father algorithm, hoping we hit a wave. And
that's what it is. Jason's
fucking hilarious. So you're in luck. So youtube.com/Jason Salmon. Go follow there. And then it's at Jason Salmon Comedy on Instagram. Follow there. April 13th, the special comes out, Biscuits and Gravy. You ready to complain?
Ready to complain. Always ready.
Shelby, hit the music. I'm going to go first. Jared, he has some problems. Thank you.
Jared, he's got some issues.
This is Neil Brennan and my dad's least favorite song.
Neil Brennan.
And my dad. Both of them hated it viscerally.
I like that.
Yeah, I do too. I the more I think, and I didn't think about how much he hated it until recently.
I feel like being hated by Neil Brennan is almost like being insulted by Don Rickles.
Right.
It's like a rite of passage.
Right, you've made it.
You've created something.
Right, I've made an impact.
You've moved some product.
That's right. I want to go to Plug City during my complaint.
Okay.
Because I want to plug restaurants. If you're in the Indianapolis area, I went to 2 restaurants that are quite literally special.
Really?
I love a special restaurant.
Okay.
I think there's this new American, I guess that would be called New American Dining.
Okay.
One was called Bluebeard, and the other was called Milktooth.
Milktooth?
I couldn't make it up if I wanted to. Okay. So I think it was called Milktooth.
That sounds like a Gen X condition.
This is I think the people in charge were Gen X people. Because Milktooth and Bluebeard, and these were special dining places.
Really?
Now Bluebeard was more of a dinner place, cocktails, and my brother and I went together. So my brother came down from Chicago for the shows in Indianapolis on Saturday. So we did, Saturday he gets in early. We go work out. We had a nice day. We get coffee. We go to Bluebeard. Mm-hmm. Bluebeard, if you want to hear the story behind Bluebeard, you can sign up for Patreon. I talked about it on Coffee with JTrain. We actually met Jimmy Buffett's stage manager.
Did you really?
Who owns the restaurant. Like, it was just such a
seen some stuff.
Right. And he was him and his wife. Yeah. They own the building. Right. We literally sat at the bar next to them. So I did a Coffee with JTrain episode on Patreon just about the spoils of sitting at the bar.
Right.
So we're sitting at the bar, and we're next to the owners. So we're getting some nice commentary. They're telling us what's good and whatever.
Right.
So, but this was a special restaurant. And listen, I think if you live in Indianapolis, this is not news to you. I don't think I'm bringing you hot tips. They know. But if you go visit Indianapolis for any reason, I don't know why you would.
If I'm passing through, I'm doing it.
You got to go.
Yeah.
It is and here's the thing. These restaurants are the ones that are popping up that I like seem to have very similar vibe. Okay. It seems to be the people who work there are like industry career, restaurant industry people.
Okay.
The bartender likes being a bartender.
That's what he does.
The waitress, the waiter, they like being a waiter, waitress. Nice. Like they're into the industry. You feel that a little bit. And then we also went to a place, Milktooth, which was more of a breakfast diner situation.
Oh, my favorite.
Fantastic. Again, they're doing inventive things. And what these restaurants kind of had in common was this shareable option. Mm-hmm. Again, the most millennial thing of them all. We don't have to make any commitments. We can spread ourselves around the menu.
Community. Develop a community.
We want to develop a community. We want a menu that changes. We want to feel like there was something special done for us. We want to see creativity. We want to see that I can spread. We love tapas as a generation. So we want to spread ourselves around the menu. Like they had like mixed nuts on the shareables, and you go, whoa, they must be good mixed nuts. One of the sides was spaghetti, and I'm like,
really?
Right? And you go, what's spaghetti doing here? It must be good. So
at breakfast?
This is at I'm mixing up the two
this
restaurants. This is Bluebeard had spaghetti on, but the breakfast place had a lakki, but on top of the lakki had this coleslaw on it that was delicious. And I'm explaining this meal because here's my issue. My brother and I went to spread our seed across the menu.
Right.
We wanted to try multiple things. And they're inviting us to. They're going, here are the shareables. This is a larger plate.
Yeah.
Right. This is what we signed up for. And they are they have the sign-up sheet that says, we have a bunch of things we want you to try.
Right.
Why aren't we having an option on a menu? And I wouldn't mind an upsell. I wouldn't mind a cutting fee. Mm-hmm. Split it up. Split up every meal for the number we have.
Right.
You make the portion you make, and then we tell you two, and then make it a two. Put it on two different plates.
Right.
You do the splitting. I don't want to have to do.
All right.
You get that half. I get this. With my brother, not a lot has to be said. There's nobody's feelings are getting hurt. I'll give him a bigger slice on one. He'll take a big. We got a breakfast sandwich at Milktooth. Unbelievable.
Really?
But it came on a sub roll, and now I'm sitting there with the knife.
They didn't even cut it?
No cut.
Oh, come on.
Right. And I understand. They put a big knife in the top of the sandwich. So, they had some sort of artistic vision with this. But I want to be able to say to the restaurant, hey, we're dancing.
Yeah.
We're dancing on your menu.
Right.
Give us the 2 split. Give us the 3. You go with 3 people. How awkward does that get?
Split.
Why can't we have on the menu splitting fee?
Instead of any allergies, start with how many you're eating.
Right.
Yeah.
How many each
for
plate?
how many?
Right, and then you could do different things for different plates. There was a falafel. It came with 3 falafel balls. Okay, great.
Boom.
Give me a presentation of 1 ball with a half a ball. And then give me the stuff that goes on top. I want some of the stuff on top because I want to get the whole bite.
Right.
We're not getting inventive. This is my problem, is that we are generationally, we are sticking to old habits. Here's your dinner, here's your dinner. But we have a whole new menu. We're doing things differently now. Let's adjust to what we're doing now.
Give you the whole experience.
Right.
Let it happen. Now, I think that's a great thing, because the politics, when you're with when you're on a date,
right?
Oh, the politics of me not eating the entire meal before she's had 2 bites.
right.
The amount of restraint I have to go through for that.
Exactly. And then when you're on a date, you're going to go, well, I've had 2. You take the other one. Yeah. And then they go, no, you haven't. And it's like, I would rather them take it from their plate, put it on mine. I don't want to go in the middle.
Right.
Take away this awkward moment that we don't need.
Yeah. If you don't finish it, you don't finish it.
Right.
We don't even bring it up unless you offer it.
Hand the plate over.
Yeah.
Let's go to Jason's complaint. Hit the music.
It's the guest's turn to complain.
They're
Tell me
ready
Kevin Brennan
to jump
loved this
in.
Neil hated this one too.
Neil Brennan, sorry.
They've got lots of problems too. It ain't all
And listen, he's not alone.
Jared.
Also my dad.
Also your dad this
doesn't like this song.
Your dad doesn't like it because it's proof of deficiency in his seed potentially.
Well, he goes, you got to stop singing. you can't do
so
this.
Brilliant at so
you're doing
many
other
things.
good things. Why would you ruin it?
I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's like not cutting up the app. Why would they not?
Absolutely. I get it. You cut up the app of that song.
Right.
Absolutely. Now that you said that, like one thing I would love to complain about is people call. I mean, this is not what I was originally going to complain about, but now you got me on food, and once I'm there, I'm there.
Listen, we love it.
Once I'm there, I'm family.
I love inspiration. Yeah, once you're there, you're family. Yeah, you know the saying.
I know you're saying.
I know your
taglines. Hash browns.
Okay.
I grew up in the South. Hash browns are brilliant. Like you can go. People in the South know how to cook hash browns. Up here, latkes. That's where I get my hash browns.
Interesting. Well, that is a different type of cut of hash browns.
It is.
You're used to, and I agree with you. All hash browns are not the same. Does it come with potatoes or does it come with hash browns? And are you doing the string cut?
It's got to be string cut. That's the hash.
I agree. That's the best one.
It's hash and it's brown. You need to have both of those components in there.
Right. So I guess the languaging is getting confusing.
Yeah.
Up
You
here,
can't tell me. People tell me hash browns here. Throw me a plate of
you don't know what's
diced
coming.
potatoes.
Yeah, no. This isn't.
No.
I totally agree. There was a place in Florida that my family used to go to called John G's.
Okay.
And John G's used to have the best hash browns, and they're cut. They need the crust. They need the crust on the outside.
It's got to be crisp.
Right, and it's got to be that string tape.
String.
And it's the moment you realize how important the feel, the mouth feel is when you eat something.
Right.
Right.
And here's the thing. I will accept under-crisped hash browns as long as they're hash, as long as it's stringed out.
So the meaning of hash is that it's cut. It's
got to be it's got to be the cut. Yeah, it's got to be stringed out. It's got to be hash.
And so corned beef hash.
Yeah.
Is that something you knew? Is that something that
I didn't experience that until I got up here.
Interesting.
I never had corned beef hash before.
Corned beef hash is one of the most indulgent things. You're basically like, I'm going to have barbecue and a starch.
Right.
Chew it for me.
Yeah.
And then I want you to crisp it up a little bit.
Baby bird it onto my plate crisp it up.
Right.
That's all I want.
That's what a corned beef hash is.
Yeah. So good.
I remember the first time I tried corned beef hash, I remember that's when I really started understanding or not realizing that food has some consequences.
Yeah.
I'd be like, this is delicious. I guess I'll eat all of it.
Oh yeah.
And it's one of those that if you have corned beef hash, there are things I see on the menu. Again, on a menu it should say this will make you need a nap.
Right. Yeah.
Corned beef hash, that's nap food.
It's everything.
You could have a hash brown with eggs and feel okay. If you did the portions right.
It can be light. Hash brown with eggs, that's a light meal.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Absolutely.
And I do agree completely with what you're saying. It's this, you have to stick to the language that society has created. You can't just go, because it's false advertising.
It is. You're telling me hash. Oh, I got excited. The first time I saw hash browns on a menu here in New York, I was like, they have hash browns. This is going to be great.
You know who I blame?
Who?
McDonald's. Because McDonald's took, and they are doing a hash brown-like thing, but it is not the same.
But they started the process.
They started the process of
away
bastardizing the word and saying, well, anything's potato at breakfast is hash brown, and that is not the case.
It's a patty, but it's still hash brown, just made into a patty.
If they had called it a potato nugget, we go, okay, the Mick potato.
Right.
They should have done that. They've done a disservice to society.
Absolutely.
Because if they had called it a Mick potato, we've gone, that's a Mick potato. Just in the same way a McNugget is not a chicken finger.
No, it's not at all.
So why wouldn't they do the same thing with the hash brown?
Thought they could get away with it. That's when they were...
Not here. Not in the lounge.
Not in the lounge. Dude, McDonald's, you have met your match in the lounge.
Jason Salmon has taken you to task. Right. But I agree with you. This is... And here's the problem. Here's the real issue. It's us, with many of these luxury lounge issues, it's us normals that fight these things out while, Johnny Hash Brown is counting his money.
Oh, Big Hash Brown is going to the bank.
Because you'll be I'm sure if you were at a diner and you said to this person, if they brought you your eggs and hash browns and it was eggs and potatoes,
what are you doing?
You would go, well, this isn't what I ordered. Yeah. And then the waiter or waitress would look at you and go, this is our hash brown. What are you talking about? This asshole is what does he think he's getting here? It's potatoes.
Yeah. So there are wait staff that I honestly think have never seen a real hash brown before.
And I pray for those people every single day.
You have to.
Yeah. So let's get to the emails. You ready?
Let's do it.
JTrainPodcast@gmail.com, JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Here with Jason Salmon. Go to his YouTube page. Just hit that subscribe to the channel. It'll be waiting for you April 13th. That's the special. Also at Jason Salmon Comedy on Instagram. Go follow immediately.
J Salmon. Just my first initial. J Salmon.
Am I reading
Comedy.
shit wrong?
I think so.
No, I'm not going to doubt your fucking name.
I should check.
Stop it.
I haven't checked it.
I believe you, Jay Salmon. It'll be all on my Instagram. It's going to be all tagged.
Yes.
It's Jay Salmon on comedy.
I just realized you had said that. No,
I don't know. You're right. Luxury lounge. Public trash bins too dirty to be used.
Oh.
This is a very New York issue. If it's coming from anywhere else. No, I agree with this completely. Right off the top.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
Sometimes I see a trash can and I go, that is unusable for my trash. And okay, Jared.
I mean, we just went through a pandemic. There's certain things that are so dirty.
Well, that's the thing, and you can't even elbow it.
Yeah.
Like it's too dirty to be elbowed.
I don't want to get too close.
Jared, all the feathers. I live in Boston, and like many city dwellers, thought it was smart to get a dog. I'm a conscientious citizen. Right. That's a hard word to read.
It is.
Conscientious. Did you know it was spelled this way?
You know what?
It looks like
it looks
scientist.
Right, because I think that's what is science, like the knowledge of.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Is that what it is?
I'm pretending like I'm a.
Listen, I'll believe you. You if you had gone an extra step, I would have been with you. Conscientious. I want everyone to put in their phone because this is where autocorrect comes in, and this is why people have conspiracy theories more now than they used to.
Yeah.
We think we're too smart.
We do.
We don't. We are
not.
You are not. If you can spell conscientious, you now should have a secondary degree.
Yeah.
You now have an engineering degree.
There you go. That's all you need. Just spell conscientious.
Because we are living like we can spell conscientious.
Yeah.
When we
Most people can't.
You should know.
Yeah.
Is this how you fucking spell it, stupid? Like, someone should look you in the eye. We're humbled very little these days.
Because you can double check everything.
Yeah, you can Google. Like, if I'm talking to a girl on a dating app and she's like, oh, does a quote from a movie. And I'm like, I didn't see it, but I'll Google the movie.
Of course.
Sound like I'm a stud. Right. Like, oh, we're like the same. You know, like, it's like we know each other so well. All right, I'm a conscientious citizen and clean up after my pet. Unlike these psychopaths out here just pulling a dump and run. But I digress. Here's my complaint. These city trash bins, the smart ones with the handle, have to be pulled down like a one-way in mailbox. I know exactly the bins they're talking about. They're all across the country, are disgusting and inconvenient. Why the high security? No one is throwing away their tax returns or medical records on the street. I would disagree with that. I have thrown away some things that I am not sure should be in the public garbage, but
this guy may be living on Sesame Street,
right,
but there's some streets where people throw away all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm throwing away some stuff with my name on it, you know, and then feeling weird for 10 seconds. Like sometimes I'll put it in the garbage, I'll put it under something. Like I'm like, oh, that's safe now.
It's under a peach.
Yeah, you're good.
Come on.
No one's touching that.
Nobody touches peach paper.
Recently, in the middle of a rainstorm with 24-mile-per-hour winds, I found myself struggling to hold on to a pissed-off wet dog on a leash, an umbrella that was turning inside out, and a steaming hot bag of shit. As I go to make my deposit in the trash bin, I can't get the handle to release. I have to lean into it with my arm to get the thing open. They aren't easy to open.
No.
On the walk back to my building, I noticed a putrid smell that seemed to be following me. My coat and bag that only briefly brushed the trash bin was infected with some invisible stink. The worst thing I've ever smelled in my life. I sadly realized that my coat and bag, neither could be washed. We're not going to make it. To make matters worse, I had to walk into my building past the concierge and two very hot guys working in the lobby who could clearly smell me. I then spent this is the worst day of this person's life.
This is not going well.
There's more to this story? You saw two hot guys? Whew. I then spent an awkward elevator ride with a resident who was coming home from his Chinese takeout. The coat and bag immediately went into the trash chute, which coincidentally also has a pull-down handle. It was being haunted by this. If the city cleanup workers are not actually cleaning up the most disgusting parts of our city, public trash receptacles, then can we just get our regular trash bins back? What is wrong with an open cylinder that we can breezily toss our refuse in while walking by at a safe distance? Thanks for listening. Hope you can do something about this if you ever run for mayor. This would be my first task. What do you think? I agree with their dismay of, like, with their I can't think of a smart word like conscientious. I agree with their anger.
The irritation at the lack of conscientiousness on their neighbors' parts. We're just going to reuse their word
I'll
as if
say
it's our own.
conscientious 7,000 times this episode.
I added a ness to it to really make it my own.
Conscientiousness. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Well, listen, so the city, New York City, has one or the other. I don't know why they didn't get a full supply of them.
Yeah, that's
you see
insane.
you see them randomly. I don't know what the tech is. That's the thing. I don't know what these. If the pull down handle, if we were told, in this is a burning inferno that makes it so you can throw twice as much garbage in it, and of course the fucking handle's going to be hard to pull because there's an actual flame going on in there. I would go. I get it.
It's a portal to hell if you're not careful.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make some sense to me. But we don't know anything. So when we don't know anything, I don't know why we had to get involved with R2D2 being in the middle of the corner of the sidewalk.
Garbage should be simple. Garbage is garbage is that point where you reach the most simplistic state of existing, and you're like, this goes.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
That's it.
You let go of it.
Yeah.
You it is not mine anymore. It is released to the world. Also, here's my biggest issue. Why don't we find the in-between? The in-between is liners on the garbage can.
Right.
I think the reason we have these new ones is the liners really weren't working out, and maybe the rain were not. But why don't we have the big line? Like when I see a liner on an outdoor garbage can, I go, thank goodness.
Yeah.
This makes me feel good. Because you ever throw away something? I throw away like iced coffee like this. I'll throw this away in a linerless barrel. And I am like, I'm a disgusting
That just
pig.
becomes garbage juice.
Right.
That's it.
Right? I see it go in. And it's just like,
worst.
it always feels unsatisfying.
Yeah.
Like I do like these garbage ones that they're talking about, that they're complaining about, because I like the satisfaction of like it contained.
Right.
I don't like the but I also understand pulling it is too hard.
Well, and the smell. How does that smell? The smell of this, guys. First of all, if I'm on the elevator with anybody and I smell, my first thing is like, ooh, what's up with that Chinese food? Like, I immediately try to deflect it. I go,
you got to blame it.
Or I blame it on the elevator. You blame it on the elevator.
Someone, elevator stinks.
Wonder who was in here.
Yeah, what's going on here?
Yeah.
We had an issue where I would do that a lot in our elevator. I always mention the smell because someone spilled something, then they had to like put like an AC blower on it.
Yeah.
And so like it became a topic of conversation here. But we don't have an in-between. We need, garbage can.
Right.
That is also not something we need to touch. Maybe the opening. Here's what it is. Because I think the reason they moved to these like lever door situation, people would just keep stacking things up.
That happens in New York.
That happens a lot.
You get the cone effect.
Yeah, and everyone's just doing Jenga on top of the thing.
It's like reverse Jenga.
A reverse Jenga, people putting stuff on. Yeah, so I think what we need to do, it shouldn't be like the mailbox. These garbage cans should come up to a point with a funnel. Nice, so make the opening smaller.
I like it.
Because then it swoops up and so people, if it doesn't fit in that, they would move on to another garbage can.
Go to a different one.
And it would slide down the side. So you don't want to be a litterer. See, this is all, it's most garbage stuff is about making you feel good about it.
Right.
Like with recycling, I put my stuff in the right thing. You don't know.
Nobody knows.
You walk away, you go, I'm assuming someone's taking that to Recycleville. And
absolutely.
You know what they're doing? They're taking both garbages and they're putting it in the same fucking garbage.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck.
When I learned that you're not supposed to recycle pizza boxes because there's so much oil on them,
I had no idea.
Even though they're cardboard, there's so much oil on them that they're non-recyclable. So I'm like,
really?
Responsibly, I now, like if I have a pizza box, I put it in the garbage. And I feel guilty for putting it in the garbage because I've been so conditioned to put it.
We have made ourselves miserable at every turn.
I feel guilty for doing the correct thing.
Right. That's insane.
Garbage should not be that complicated.
Green Chef is here to help you eat better and feel better. Their new protein pack collections offer a variety of satisfying and flavorful recipes like kale salad with pork and Monterey Jack smothered chicken. I love Green Chef. You know why I love it? Because you and I probably want to be more healthy than we are. And then what we do is Monday night, you're like, okay, grilled chicken and vegetables. And then it's Tuesday and you go, let's do grilled chicken and vegetables again. Then it's Wednesday and you go, okay, I'll make some salmon. And then Thursday, you're out of ideas. And that's when you usually go off. You want creative options, and Green Chef can do that for you. They have options for every lifestyle, too. Keto and paleo, vegan, vegetarian, Mediterranean, and gluten-free. Green Chef is now offering 10-minute lunches. Each week's menu includes 2 convenient, low-prep lunch recipes ready in just 10 minutes, no cooking required. Perfect for when you're on the go and still want to eat well at lunchtime. Plus, Green Chef is the only meal kit that is both carbon and plastic offset. Go to greenchef.com/JTrain60 and use code JTrain60 to get 60% off plus free shipping. That's real money, people. That's GREENCHEF.com/JTrain60 and use code JTrain60. Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating well. Do your financial goals feel out of reach? They don't have to. With Chime's Secured Credit Builder Visa credit card, start building credit with your own money through on-time payments and small everyday purchases like groceries and gas. Members see an increase of 30 points to their credit scores on average. Chime reports your payments to the credit bureaus to help you build credit, all with no annual fees, large security deposits, or credit checks to apply. Start making your financial dreams a reality with Chime. Signing up only takes 2 minutes and doesn't affect your credit score. Get started at chime.com/JTrain. That's chime.com/JTrain. The Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card is issued by Stride Bank and pursuant to a license from Visa USA, Chime checking account, and $200 qualifying direct deposit required to apply for the secured Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card. Based on a study conducted by Experian, Credit Builder members observed an average 30-point FICO score 8 increase after 8 months with regular on-time payments. Results may vary. See chime.com for details. Out-of-network ATM withdrawal fees may apply except at MoneyPass ATMs in a 7-Eleven or any Allpoint or Visa Plus Alliance ATM. JTrain Podcast at gmail.com, JTrain Podcast at gmail.com. Here with Jason Salmon at J Salmon Comedy. Go follow youtube.com/Jason Salmon. Luxury complaint. What are cows producing if not dairy? Jared. Feather, love the podcast. I look forward to it every week. I'm hoping to catch you live sometime. Here's my complaint. I eat a plant-based diet and am lactose intolerant. While there are more vegan and non-dairy options than ever before, which is great, at the same time, it seems like marketers have taken the phrase non-dairy and stretched it like a pair of yoga pants. Let me give you an example. The other day, I went to the market and bought a 40G muscle milk drink. 40 gallon?
No, I feel like that's like some sort of
40 gram.
Maybe 40 gram.
Small G. From another country?
Small G?
Small G.
I'd gram. That could be
40 gram muscle milk drink. I had run out of my protein at home, and I'm trying to put on some muscle. So I went to the market for an alternative. Probably like other plant-based eaters, the first thing I look for is non-dairy or vegan on the label before buying something. As you can see from the photo, the muscle milk drink says non-dairy protein shake in large, bold letters. So I drank the shake, happy that I was hitting my protein goals. However, no later than an hour, I was doubled over in pain, like a bendy straw. That's someone took a creative writing class.
This guy.
That's when my boyfriend read the bottle. At the bottom in smaller letters, it says contains no milk, includes milk proteins.
What?
That's milk.
That is milk.
That's milk.
Yeah.
No. I'm angry. And on the nutrition label on the back, it says contains milk ingredients.
Good Lord.
Not only did I feel like a fool for not checking the label more closely, but how can it be legal to say non-dairy when something contains milk? Last time I checked, milk was dairy. It's as if Muscle Milk's marketing department is playing a twisted game of hide and seek, except the only prize is a stomach ache and a ruined pair of underwear. I mean, how hard is it to be upfront with the ingredients in your product? This is not a trend. This is people's lives and toilets they are messing with. Not only that, how can they have more? Not only that,
It's a multi-layered
right.
complaint.
This is something that has occurred to me on other occasions. Trader Joe's has an almond mozzarella cheese alternative. Once again, I fell for cheese alternative. Marketing ploy only to find out later that it contains dairy on the nutrition label.
Good Lord.
I can't help but wonder if the marketing departments at these companies are secretly snickering behind their desk, watching as unsuspected plant-based eaters and lactose-intolerant individuals stumble into their traps. Do they get some sort of sadistic joy from watching us clutch our stomachs and run for the nearest bathroom from a frustrated, semi-muscular, and misled gal? What do you think?
I think, look, here's the thing. If you've got milk ingredients, they call it milk ingredients.
Right.
If you've got milk ingredients,
That's milk.
You know what peanut butter has in it? Peanut ingredients.
Right.
And if you've got a peanut allergy, don't have peanut ingredients.
So I guess the reason they feel it's funny you bring up the peanut thing. I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Why don't they do this with peanuts? It's because they could kill someone.
Right, because
This they think is a harmless crime. Oh, they're shitting their pants. Who cares?
Here's the thing. I don't even think they're going so far as that. I think they're saying. I think a lot of these people are making up this dairy.
Well,
thing.
this is you're now bringing me to what I was thinking because there's a lot of people to blame.
Yeah.
There's the marketing company.
Absolutely.
There's Muscle Milk. There's the people who say they have a lactose issue.
Yeah.
Who just made it up. So what these people are doing is saying we are going to take advantage of the people who say these things but don't actually have these things.
Right.
And we're going to make money off of them because. To me, it's a short-term gain to put this on your thing to fuck with the actual intolerant people. What they are saying, and again, they're blaming the wrong, incentives. You always have to think of the incentives. Sure, I'm mad at Muscle Milk. I'm mad at the company. Right. Sure, they've done an evil thing, but they did a math equation.
They did, yeah.
They were like, there are less lactose intolerant people than people who claim to be lactose intolerant. We will take all of their money. You won't be back, but they will. And it goes back to the guilt complex where you go, I've had the good thing. I had the dairy. I'm keeping up dairy free. When in reality, they're having dairy like proteins, which is actually dairy.
And that's the thing. I mean, the after forensics, not many people are going to do that. Most people aren't even going to pinpoint what part of their diet.
Well, if you didn't shit, you don't look.
Right.
If you didn't have a stomach ache, you don't give a shit.
Right. But if
you didn't shit, you don't give a shit.
That is you're here, your family, and if you didn't shit, you don't give a shit.
You only lose weight when the pants don't fit.
Right.
So you only make a complaint. You only run in a lounge when you have a legit issue.
Yeah.
And actually, it's funny because we made fun of them for going on, but Muscle Milk, I'm not even as mad at them because it's literally called Muscle Milk.
It is. That's one that I would really go up front forensics.
Right. I would want to go look at the nutrition. Muscle Milk, you go, you're playing with fire.
You are.
When you do Trader Joe's almond mozzarella cheese alternative, that's fucking with me.
That is a stab in the back.
That's a stab in the back because you're not just buying almond cheese because you're buying that. You are trusting if they are saying almond cheese, right? You're like, oh, okay, we are doing some things.
Right.
That is a real break of trust.
Oh yeah.
And for Trader Joe's to do it to you.
Trader Joe's,
the home of where you should be getting these things.
The home of most of the people in the city who I think love me.
Right. I mean, they're big fans of yours.
They just feel loving every time I'm in there.
They do. They do. I mean, this is this is the wolf in sheep's cloth.
It's betrayal.
The wolf in a Hawaiian shirt. Right.
I bet the person who checked them out when they bought that almond cheese stuff was like, oh, you're gonna love this.
Right.
It's probably made them feel so good about it.
So good. I hate and I'm dairy free too.
Yeah. I'm proud of you. Yeah. I'm proud of you for buying this.
JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Here with Jason Salmon at J Salmon Comedy. Go follow. Luxury Lounge. Unnecessary customer service clarification. Jared and guest, Feather, sitting here fuming about a real non-problem, so I knew exactly where to run. My Fitbit recently broke because of water damage. Apple Watch people, hold your commentary. I remain a Fitbit stan. Okay. They've committed. I contacted customer support via chat, and they immediately offered to send me a replacement. Okay.
Solid.
Great. Afterwards, I get an email with a subject along the lines of, thanks for chatting with us today. So I proceed to ignore it and move on with my life. I would do the same.
Fair. Yeah.
A week goes by, and I have no shipping info on this thing. So I follow up, and they tell me, you didn't reply to our email, so it hasn't been shipped.
Stop it.
I dig up the email. Hidden in the body is an ask for me to clarify some information before they send the replacement product. The only information they were asking for was what country I live in.
Really?
Come on.
That's a...
Also, that couldn't have been taken care of on the phone call that you had?
That feels like you could track the number even.
Right. I mean, are you worried you're going to send it to Boston, Massachusetts, South Korea?
I mean,
like, what are you worried about?
A little known of the Boston, Massachusetts in the world. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, it's not gonna. Yeah,
you worry what time? Austin, Texas. Slovenia. What are you talking about? Yeah, Taipei. I don't know why I can't think of countries.
That's right. I know.
Austin,
just
Texas,
name a country.
Ghana. Just name one country.
Just one country.
I conscientiously tried to think of one country.
That's what happened.
Oh my God. This is annoying.
That is codependence. That is a person, a customer service person who's just like, I just want to talk more with this person.
Or is it a company trying to like make you use their email? It's devious. Like, are you kidding? You have my shipping address. Why did me not replying to your automated email with USA just delay this whole thing a week and a half? I feel the slightest bit of logic here would have solved that real quick. Yes, I'm getting exactly what I asked for in another 5 to 7 business days. But come on, no. This is egregious.
It is egregious.
This is egregious. You conscientiously call them up,
right,
and you tried to you rectify the situation. They go, oh, easy peasy, good to go. And then you get an email, which, what they're doing is they're trying to make you, this is a threat. This is a threat. They are basically what they're doing is scaring you into opening up their emails in the future.
Yeah, you will never deal with them and not open up their emails for the rest of your life.
Or maybe other companies too. You might open every trash email for the rest of your life. They have now, this is like, there's abuse going on here.
Yeah, they've made you into a weaker person.
Right.
Yeah, because you never have the upper hand. You always are going to have to open that email.
Extra customer. So Delta has done this recently.
Really?
Not this specifically, but this reminds me of an issue I have with Delta. Delta, when you call now, I call the Diamond Medallion line.
Okay.
Call the big boy line.
Yeah.
And they start the conversation they go, would you like to text with us? Yes or no? And then you get to call in.
Right.
I didn't call.
Yeah.
To find out about the text. I don't give a fuck about your text.
That's not even how calls and texts work.
Right. No. You can put this in an email and let me know. So they get in the way. So now there's an extra minute.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
And then they go, what? We didn't hear you. No, I don't want to text with you. Mm-hmm. I didn't call. I am at my breaking point. I am, delayed. I want to see if there's other flights. I'm going to go, Ed, would you like to text with us instead of calling? It might go fast. No.
Yeah.
This will go faster if you shut the fuck up and let me get to the person.
And that's why customer service people have the hardest job ever, because by the time you get to them, you've dealt with every soulless step of dealing with customer service.
You basically run through an obstacle course.
You're angry at the pathway that got you to the customer service.
Absolutely.
By the time and that's the thing with this customer service, don't send me a follow-up email unless you're telling me, oh, we have to just confirm via email that you're in the U.S. This is a legal step.
Right.
We apologize.
You couldn't be more right. If they had said, hey, an email's coming.
Yeah.
I know you usually get a ton of emails and you don't give a fuck about them. This email, for whatever reason,
boom,
we just got to make you confirm your country. Easy.
Not only
that would have set this up for success.
Not only success, but a customer for life. You empathize with somebody. You're like, look, we're going to send you an email. I know it's an extra step. I'm sorry.
Right.
But this is what we got to do legally.
If that were to happen, they would probably stop doing it, because then their employees would go, hey, we always have to tell them
Yeah.
Before we can we take away the step?
Well, I'm assuming that the step has some sort of legal something.
I'm assuming it's them trying to get in your email address and trying to get so they don't become spam.
That is, you know what? You're right. You're right.
They stay in the
agree
regular inbox.
I agree with that.
Of going to the
yeah,
spam.
I was being too generous.
You're generous to a company.
I know. I'm being generous. You're right.
At all.
You're right. This is a bottom line thing. We want one more email address.
We want you to get the 15% off email, and we want to take no chances that it won't be in your inbox. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com, JTrainPodcast@gmail.com, here with Jason Salmon. YouTube.com/Jason Salmon. Biscuits and Gravity. It's going to be a fantastic special, April 13th. You're going to love it. Make it a date night. Make it a night on the couch. These specials, and where'd you tape it?
I taped it at Soul Joel's out in Pennsylvania.
Come on.
At their new barn facility.
Oh, that's
great.
I
saw
love
that thing.
Soul
I'm
Joel.
like, oh, this is going to be great. Yeah.
So it's in a barn?
Yeah, we did it in a
perfect.
barn. It's great. It's awesome.
That's amazing.
It's got a twist at the end of it. It's got a very interesting twist at the end of it.
My
I mean,
God,
there's a hook.
M. Night Salmon.
There we go. Yeah, I like
to
M. Night Salmon. I'm taking it. I'm taking that. That is my new nickname.
I love it. When you're there, your family on M. Night Salmon's
on M. Night Salmon's
new special. Luxury Lounge, Vacation with Grandma.
All
right. Jared and Guest, love the pod. I met you in Chicago at the Vig during the Girls Gotta Eat holiday show. Writing to you for my 5-star hotel room in Jamaica that I'm sharing with my grandma.
Oh.
All right. Well, nice to meet you at the Vig. I remember that night. Got a little drunky poo.
Did you?
Yeah, I think so. Some guy was leaning against me. We were at these booths. I'll never forget that night because he was leaning against me and he kept pushing into my back. And I was like, dude, there's a better way to discuss this. And we got like a screaming match.
Really?
Yeah, it was really an annoying night. I remember
Where somebody just leads in with the most animal way.
Right. He's just like, hey, man, you bumped me.
Yeah.
Or if I had bumped him, maybe I did. I don't know.
Yeah.
But to do I'm gonna
act like you're on a plane and you're jockeying for elbow position.
So insane.
It's like, this is our whole backs.
Right.
If we're doing it with our whole backs, we should just turn.
Right. Or just like, hey man, can you go on that side? I'll go on this side. It was like this weird, I'm gonna throw my back.
Yeah.
All right. Well, nice to meet you. My grandma takes my whole family, 14 of us, on a vacation each year to a 5-star luxury all-inclusive resort in Jamaica. Okay. 14 people.
That is
every year.
Generational
5-star.
wealth.
Shelby, can you look up 5-star resort nightly rate in Jamaica? Because we got a mathematicien here.
I'm putting myself on the line.
And I want to know
a conscientious mathematician.
This woman, right? A psychological mathematician.
I bring the human element into it.
That's right. I like that. I want to know all-inclusive. Look up 5-star all-inclusive Jamaica hotels.
Yeah.
And just let's see what a nightly is. Everyone couples off to room together because I have no significant other and my grandpa passed away, I share a room with my Jewish grandma. That, I mean, that's no vacation at all.
I know it.
That is, I love her to death. She probably wishes she'd.
I mean, you maybe should figure out a different way to phrase that.
Right.
When you're dealing in the grandma territory, you want to stay away from that last
I love
part.
her to life.
Yeah.
Especially when you're about to complain about having to stay with her.
Yeah.
How'd grandma die?
This is
don't blame me.
Thin line between love her to death and a confessional.
Right. We are so close. But she's relied on my grandpa her whole life. So now I am stuck with all the grandma responsibility that no one else in the family has to deal with. This is a perfect luxury lounge complaint. You're at a 5-star hotel.
Yeah.
You're staying with Grammy, who you love.
Who paid for it.
14 people.
This is
right, and you're an even 14. You can't even get out.
You can't use math to get out.
You can't. Matt, everyone couple up. You're with Ethel.
Yeah. Who are the two single people?
Yeah, look, this is...
Look, if you want to talk to grandma about why she's single, I'm sure she'd be glad to have this discussion. See, that's the whole thing. You can't even bring this up without going
down a sad route. Also, she's got all her grandma shit everywhere. You can't even masturbate. You're like, how do you get into, like, even when she leaves the room, you got to see, like...
Not when your nostrils are that clear from the Ben gaze.
Right. I love her to death. We're so close, but she's relied on my grandpa her whole life, so now I'm stuck with all the grandma responsibility that no one else in the family has to deal with. Like her constantly having me call the butler to complain about something.
This is the perfect...
She's the pre-butler.
She's the pre-butler.
Oh my God, this is great. Waking me up 15 minutes before my alarm to make sure I don't oversleep on vacation? Oversleep?
I got all sorts of questions about alarms, oversleeping,
right.
all of that
Oversleep
stuff.
For what? The jazzercise?
I mean, I'm assuming there's a pool class.
Right. And walking to dinner 20 minutes early every night. That's a bit. You're losing parts of your life.
Yeah.
My parents even pawn these responsibilities onto me so they can relax on their vacation. I'm so grateful to my grandma for this trip, but why does everyone else get to skip out on all her shit?
Yeah.
That stinks.
It does. And the bad part about it is, like, you can empathize with your grandma.
Right. She's elder.
Right.
She needs someone to hang with.
She's widowed.
Right.
Oh, I mean,
this puts a lot of
pressure. She's got all the cards.
Right. And you can't. And then it's like, where else are you going to sleep? You can't be, like, you don't have a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is. Like, you're with Grammy.
Absolutely. But here's my thing. I don't think this is a grandma problem.
What is it?
I think this is the rest of the family problem.
I agree.
That's the deal.
The family, the idea that you are now her pre-butler.
Yeah. Now, everything
or the idea that you're her assistant now, or that you're now grandpa.
Right.
Because grandpa's dead.
In the room... You're going to take on most of the responsibility.
Fine. But
you should alternate nights walking her to dinner.
Right. Someone come pick up
Somebody
grandma.
every night walks her to dinner.
That's a good idea. Someone's got to come pick up grandma 20 minutes, and then now you get 20 minutes of you time to get ready.
And here's the thing. Every time somebody argues with that, you go, would you rather just be grandpa for the week?
Yeah.
We'll switch. I'll switch.
I'll switch. I'll sleep with your wife.
I'll walk her to dinner every night.
Yeah. Shelby, how much a night is an all-inclusive in Jamaica? 700 to 900. Let's call it 800.
Okay.
Let's say they go for a luxury. Let's say they go for 5 days. 800 a night. That's 7 rooms.
4,000 times 7, $28,000.
It's a $28,000 trip.
That's a $28,000 trip. You can't
tough to complain with grandma.
You can't argue with somebody who is technically now your employer.
Right.
They're your boss. That's an entire salary.
You work for them.
An entire salary.
You work for grandma, bitch.
That my parents had at one point in their lifetime. Their entire year's salary that paid for our entire family and a house mortgage.
Yeah.
Is being spent on 5 days in Jamaica.
And I went short.
Yeah.
Like I didn't make it a full week.
You know what 5 times 20-minute walk is?
Right.
100 minutes. An hour and a half.
Will you work 100 minutes?
Not even an Oscar movie worth of walking.
I'm with her. This sucks because the money's being held over your head. No one wants that happening.
Whether you like it or not.
Whether you like it or not. Your family is not being very helpful. You may have a butler, but no one wants to have to be the person that's in charge of you're running the butler staff at that point.
Yeah.
I feel for you. There's nowhere to go with this. The only thing you can do is get married.
That's true. That's it. You know what? This is the perfect reason to hook up.
I knew you were the one when you could get me out of sleeping next to wrinkles over here.
Yeah. Well, what you got to do is you got to figure out the lead time for when your grandma is booking these trips. And you got to say, am I at relationship level with anybody that I can move into this spot, that I can, for the time that I've got, can I move into this spot? Or do I have a friend who can feign a relationship?
Right.
Who I can replace that with?
This is a great movie idea.
It is a good
movie idea. It's a good movie idea where it's kind of like my best friend's wedding when she brings her gay friend.
You're like, come along.
Right. No, but instead you bring your fuck buddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this guy's a total asshole. He's like, I just want the free trip. Right. He's just a situationship guy. And he's like, and she's like, oh, I got to bring someone.
Yeah.
You're the guy I'm hooking up with. I fucking hate you. But do you want to come to Jamaica so that I can have my own room and enjoy my time in Jamaica? And he's like, fuck it. Yeah. I don't have to date you, do I? And then hilarity ensues.
Absolutely. I think even the decision making process between do I want to spend less time as my grandpa,
right,
or as his prostitute? Which one do I want to spend less time as?
Prostitute. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Yeah, you got to be this guy's free trip. Yeah, he's the prostitute.
Yeah, he's the one getting all the perks.
JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Luxury Lounge, first class ice.
I like that.
Jared, Feather. I work at a company where I travel a lot. They are nice enough to put me in first class. My complaint is that on a recent flight, the attendant was too nice. Relatable, I know. My go-to beverage when I have to work in flight is a sparkling water. However, for me, the real thrill is chewing the ice cubes after finishing the drink. Are you an ice cube chewer?
Not an ice cube chewer.
I am. Totally agree with this person. Shelby?
I get it.
Ice chewer?
Definitely with plain ice.
With plain ice. And here's the thing. There's a hand-to-mouth thing.
Yeah.
There's keeping you busy. It's boring on a flight. I'm a big ice chewer as well.
I have so many issues with the way I eat in general, just like so many things that annoy people that I'm like, I can't.
What's one of the things?
Oh, I wolf down food. I don't look people in the eye when the food hits the table. It's like, oh, it's just me and the food now. It's no longer a social event.
You're having a deep conversation with the food.
Yeah, I am. I am connecting with nature. It's dead nature, and I'm eating it.
That's right. On the flight in question, the attendant was so quick to offer me a refill every time I finished my drink that I could not chew the ice. Thinking I could beat him, I accepted the refill the first few times, but the fourth time I said no thanks. As soon as the words were out of my mouth, he took the cup away from me and was gone before I could say I still wanted the ice. This left me in an awkward place of spending the rest of the 3-hour flight irritated that the attendant was too nice, efficient at his job. I know he was just doing his job, trying to provide good service, but I can't help feeling I was robbed of my ice. Sincerely, I just want to chew on ice cubes. What do you think?
This is a great luxury lounge one because you start out in first class.
Right. I'm emailing you from first class.
From first class about the excellence of the service I received being a little annoying.
Yeah, they're on top of you about the garbage. Yeah. This is not new territory to tread in. The garbage it seems important to them to get the garbage.
On a plane, garbage is turbulence too. Like turbulence hits and garbage becomes everybody's garbage, conceivably. There's that threat.
There's that threat, and then there's also what they're probably trying to do is getting ahead of, I have to go through every seat back pocket to make sure there's no garbage there after they've gotten out.
Right.
So I think, and I'm with you. I had this happen today. I got in the flight this morning. I was flying back from Indianapolis, and I go to the Delta Sky Club, and I get a double espresso, with 2 squirts of sugar-free vanilla, 1 sweet and low, sweeten it up, and then I have them fill the coffee cup with as much ice as can fit in the coffee cup.
All right.
So then I walk around with that coffee cup, open lid, no lid, like at a barbecue. So I walk in. Coffee cup in left hand, bag in right hand, backpack on, and then I get on the flight. I had every 5 seconds, because we were about to take off, they go, you want me to take that? 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 And I'm like, no, I'm holding this until I get my first drink in the air.
Yeah.
This is the hand to mouth that I want to be doing
the whole
until
time.
we get there. Yeah. And I could tell they were all like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this
You're not being efficient.
Right.
Yeah.
So I understand the plight.
Yeah, I think that when you're in the air, you're part emergency service technician,
right?
As a flight attendant, part facilitator, part instructor, part teacher,
you got
guidance.
a lot of hats to wear.
And then the third thing you are is wait staff. And so
so you just want to do it on the run.
Right. So clearly you were dealing with somebody who was way too good at the other parts of the job, and that was his third best part.
Right. Well,
at best,
Well, I guess also this it makes you upset when you can't get them otherwise.
Yeah. Oh, I know it. When their cleanup is so efficient, but their service is
right.
Wait,
where were you when I wanted the second drink?
Yeah.
Like, that's when we're going to bow out of this
Right.
arrangement?
And that's true. I see. I give them the benefit of the doubt, not knowing, and you're right. But you're right.
Take it right away
I know
from them.
you took right away from them, and you're right. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Your cynicism in this is the thing that's mine. I'm being too conscientious.
That's okay. A lot of conscientiousness coming out of
The
you.
two C words.
Luxury
Neither
lounge.
one of them are the worst.
Clingy coworkers. Okay, we got time for a couple more, Shelby? We got time?
Okay.
Jared and guest. I just started a new position at the company I work for. There are only a handful of other people in my department and only one girl around my age. While I have appreciated her helping me get comfortable in my new role, she has gotten way too clingy and always oversharing. Oh. I've been avoiding talking to her because she will always tell me the horror stories of her relationship with her quote-unquote ex-boyfriend, who doesn't work and still lives with her, eviction notices on the door, him knocking her car window out, pregnancy scares, and on and on. That is just, even someone else's pregnancy scares, like I'm acquiring your anxiety.
Yeah.
That's like, you're heightening the room in a way, like I come to work, like I want to be at like a 0.
Right.
Like I don't want to be like, and you wouldn't believe what happened yesterday. Oh, I thought I was pregnant. And you're like,
You spend
can I
all
just
your
have my coffee?
Right. You spend all your free time like trying to like contain your own life, and
Right.
then you walk in and somebody's like, "Hey, my life is spilled everywhere." You're like,
Right.
"Ah,
And then
come on."
here's the problem with someone telling you their life story and
Yeah.
pouring it on you is that you have to go trying to think of solutions. You're trying to
Yeah.
think of like ways to calm them down. Now they're sucking your energy out
Right.
of you. If that's not bad enough, she texts me constantly, even when she's off about work drama, and I barely ever respond. She works a different schedule than me, and when she knows I'm at work, she'll start texting me at 8 a.m. It's insane. I feel a little bad because I think she needs a friend, and expressed how happy she was when I started that there's finally someone her age to talk to.
Wow.
Well, this person, no. This is obscene. This is horrible.
Yeah.
When someone says finally, like, doesn't she have other friends? Doesn't she have a life outside of work? This means she has basically made it so the office fixed her problem of everyone else avoiding her.
Right.
Because this person doesn't have a friend in the world, so now they're saying, oh, they've hired a friend for me.
Yeah, she didn't look at it as, oh, this is a person that's doing a job. This is a companion for me.
And thank God you're here.
Yeah.
Because I had no one to talk to.
Yeah.
You had no one. You have no one to text during the day. You have no other friends, family.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because they're not paid to be polite to you.
Right.
So now you've found someone who has to be courteous to you.
Right.
And you're taking advantage.
So much advantage.
I hate this person.
Because they're stuck in this role where they can't just go, you're out of my life. Because you're in their job.
Right. And so it's like they basically are taking advantage of the social etiquette of like, hey, I'm not going to like rock the boat at work. I don't want to get in a fight with anybody. So they're going, oh, you're my age. Like if I got to a new job and they're like, thank God you're here. I got no one to talk to. I'd be like, whoa.
It is terrifying.
Why me?
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to you.
And the fact
no one wants to talk to you?
The fact that she knows this right off the bat is like, oh yeah, this person volunteered this day one.
Right. I cannot think of anything worse.
Oh gosh.
Hey, welcome to the office. Thank God you're here. I got stories to talk to you about? You're like, whoa, why? Yeah.
Why am I the one you think it's okay to do this to?
I feel a little bad because I think she needs a friend and expressed how happy she was when I started that there's finally someone her age to talk to. But I do not have the energy for listening to the drama 24/7 when I have my own life to worry about. Sincerely, not your therapist. This is a problem.
Yes.
This is a huge problem. What do you do?
This is a boundary thing.
Yes.
And
HR.
here's what I do first if it's a company thing.
Right.
Is I go to HR and say, look, there's no problem here. I just want to clarify with you that I am going to set some very distinct boundaries with this coworker.
Okay.
And I don't want there to be any sort of fallout from this. I don't think she's a bad person. I just think that she's expecting a different thing than I'm, you
got to go to HR.
Go to HR.
This is what they're there for.
Yeah,
This is in a sense, what HR was
Yeah.
created for. And their job is to not out you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, their job is to like be counsel for you. And yeah, hey, I'm about to say something to or even if you could even put it on HR to be like, can you send out like a company newsletter that says like, I don't know, some way of saying like we don't
something
leave your pregnancy scares at home.
Maybe don't mention specifically this pregnancy scare, but any scares.
Right. I guess this is tough because like what this person is doing is so annoying to me.
It is. It's
co-opting
manipulative.
what's that?
It's manipulative.
It is. Yeah, because she's using the office.
Right.
She's using girl power.
Yeah.
Women helping women.
Yeah.
Finally, a woman who's my age. Fuck off.
Right.
I don't care that we look the same. I don't care. I want my own headspace. I don't need to I don't need new friends.
Right.
She is using all these things. And then for her to say, oh, there's no one here my age. No. There's no one here that wants to talk to you.
Right.
You stink.
You should be able to talk cross.
Right.
Which,
you shouldn't be talking about these things with people at work.
Right.
The
No
idea that
pregnancy
she's
scares.
like, oh, I had no one to go to about the eviction notice on my door.
Yeah.
Thank God you're here. It's like, no, that's for your friends and family. Oh, you don't have those to get in touch with?
Yeah.
She has not looked within.
Right.
And that's annoying to me.
That's hugely annoying. And here's the thing, she hasn't looked within enough. She doesn't even know she's being manipulated.
Right.
Which is why
Right.
you can't accuse her of doing anything. You just have to tell her, you have to say, look, when I'm at work, I have to concentrate on this.
Right.
And can you just not send me any text messages when I'm at work? Because
Here's what you do. That's a good idea. First off.
Okay.
Hey, when I'm at work, I got to concentrate on work. I
Yeah.
appreciate your texts, but if you could if you don't mind leaving the personal stuff out,
Right.
unless it's work related,
Right.
I can't. That's a great line. Unless
Boom.
it's work related, I can't get back to these texts.
Right.
Boom. Plain and simple.
Done.
Done.
Right.
That's the text. Or here's another move. You go to HR. Hey, I'm having an issue with this person. I just want to let you know. I want to get ahead of it. If there's something you can say, it would be helpful. But like, look at this screen.
Yeah.
And just show them the screen.
Yeah.
And go, that is all their text today.
Right.
And it's about drama here that I don't care about, I don't know about, and I think they need a friend, but they've kind of overstepped the boundaries
Right.
of a work relationship. Okay. Then you go back to your desk. You send this person a text by accident. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, this chick won't shut the fuck up. She has no friends. I fucking hate her. And you send it to her by accident. Oh my God, wrong text.
This is multi-level chess here.
I mean, that's the more aggressive, passive aggressive. It's passive aggressive.
I think
it's literally passive aggressive.
I think the difficulty with doing that and the HR move is they are contradictory moves.
Right. Well, now you've set the tone that HR is on your side.
They are.
And then
They
you
are.
go, this bitch won't shut the fuck up. Just send her a text. Oh, sorry, I was meant that for my mom.
That's good. That's good.
Oh,
but here's the thing. The difficulty with a person like that is I don't know if they will rationalize that was about another person.
Right. You're right. I think you're totally right. I think the first option is the way to go.
You know why I say that is I actually was a personal trainer for years, and I had a client tell me that she was in love with me. Come on. During a session. And I was like, wait,
hold on. What part of the session?
No, here's what she did. She said, I can't remember exactly what she said, but she actually emailed me, which is crazy. She emailed me, and she a long thing, and in the midst of this email, she's like, I'm in love with you, and this is why, blah, blah, blah. She had a husband.
Were you guys was it a friendly relationship?
It was purely professional.
Right.
I had never seen her outside. There'd never, because I had clients over the years who I would grab a coffee with or something like that. Really nice people. I had a lot of nice people, but nothing outside of one session a week.
She thought she was giving you cues. She thought,
look, I'm oblivious to anything that I'm not looking
and that's
for.
not to say she was crazy.
No.
She may have been going, Oh, and then he was so nice that he must have heard that cue. Or
and here's
whatever.
the other thing: I'm a fitness trainer. You're
too hot.
Yeah, I mean, I get that all the time.
Gorgeous.
You know I get that all the time.
Yeah.
That's why I had to grow this mustache, just to hide behind.
Gotta hide behind that gorgeous face.
These dimples. Come on.
I don't blame him.
You gotta cover this. You gotta cover this.
When he was training, when you're here, you want to fuck.
Yeah. When you're here, we're gonna make a family.
Right.
That's what people picked up on.
Right. Holy
but
shit.
I went to HR. I went to my manager actually, and I said, "Here's the email.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I'm planning to do in response."
Right.
And then I said, "You look at what I'm going to respond to, and you edit this how you feel it needs to be edited."
Well, that's the proper way to go. Because
right.
Again, you're in a situation where it's at a gym.
Yeah. Which they're the client, so they could they have more pull over.
Right.
If they say, "Oh, this went awry because of him," you know.
Right. You got to get in front of it.
But I think
this woman needs to do the same thing.
Yeah. I think that's what I mean.
Here are the texts. It's getting out of hand. Here's the text I am going to send.
Boom.
I appreciate that you reaching out to me.
Yeah.
When I'm at work, I can only deal with work related texts.
Right.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Boom. Done.
Yeah.
Period. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Here with Jason Salmon at J Salmon Comedy on Instagram. Jason Salmon on YouTube. The special, it's coming out April 13th. Go follow, watch it. Luxury Lounge. How hard is it to say congratulations?
Seems easy.
Not as hard as conscientious.
I mean, spelling congratulations might be as hard as conscientious.
I think I could do that one.
Okay.
JTrain Shelby and guest, Feather. I recently got awarded a big fellowship as part of my PhD training. I was so excited, and getting this fellowship was a really big deal. I sent a message to my two good friends in our group chat that I won this award and got no response from either of them. And later they sent a separate they started a separate conversation in the same group.
Jeez.
I am not asking for them to throw me a fucking party, but would it be so hard to just respond, congratulations, thank you for the safe space to air this complaint? What do you think?
Look, I think congratulations is the easiest thing to do.
Well, and a text is the easiest thing to do. To me, this is confrontational.
It is.
Because I would say to this person, let's have some self-reflection. Because I would send a congratulations just to get it the fuck out of my face. You know what I mean?
It's like, oh, here's what you do. Yeah.
Congratulations. I see someone get married. Congratulations. Done. Game over. Easiest thing in the world.
Easiest.
So why didn't they do this?
Not doing it is an active move.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I would even, because it's like, this isn't even relatable as far as a complaint. You'd be like, no, there's something else going on.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, do you talk about your fellowship all the time? Are you always talking about how, I'm so busy? Are you the I'm busy friend? Are you the, the fellowship? Do you kind of, judge them, or do they feel judged by your, by your success? Do they feel judged by your, I wish I could go out like you guys. Like, do you say things like that? Like I don't want to blame the victim here, right? Because you are a victim of poor friendship.
There's something underneath it.
Something's going on,
and I think that's good though. But self-reflection, you're like, oh, maybe I've talked about this a lot more than I should have. Maybe I've used it as an excuse. Maybe I've used it to judge, like you said. But maybe it's not your fault. Maybe it's just two people who are like, she thinks she's smarter than us.
Right. And if there's nothing of that, like it was always like the law school friend who'd be like, oh, L1, I read all the time. It's like, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I go to a job where I don't get to get an A. You get to go to fun school land that is pretty easy to me. You take the test, study the material, get the grade you deserve. That doesn't exist in my world anymore. We've gone in two different paths. I'm sure one day you'll feel the stress that I feel. But again, I don't give a fuck that you have to read a chapter tonight. So
you don't have to deal with Chuck in the coffee break room every time I go.
I have a coworker who told me they might be pregnant, and I have to maybe father the child. So what the fuck are you talking about?
You've never been offered surrogacy during your lunch break.
So, sorry if I don't feel bad. Sorry, I'm not excited about your fucking fellowship. But I'm saying to this person, so let's do some self-reflection. And then if you can think of maybe I have been talking about this a lot or using it as an excuse to get out of friendship duties. Maybe this is why they're kind of actively not saying anything. And then maybe if you think of nothing, go, hey, friends,
Yeah.
I would respond to your congratulations in the group chat, and I would go, how come no one answered this?
Yeah.
Or to your got the fellowship.
Right.
I would respond to that. Hey, I feel bad that no one even acknowledged this. Go straight to the source.
Yeah.
Now you can reply to your own text. Do that.
Have you ever gotten something in comedy that somebody like didn't say something to you and it like immediately you're like, oh, this is a person who I would have thought would have been happy for me?
Yeah. I think it happens.
I mean, I guarantee it happens.
But then you go.
But most of the time you're like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Do we have time for one more or we're done? We're out.
We're out.
Jason Salmon.
Thank you so much for having me.
This was so fantastic. It was so good that we had an email to go, but we'll have to do it on next
all right,
episode.
We'll do another one.
Everyone go follow Jason at JSalmonComedy on Instagram, youtube.com/Jason Salmon. I'm Jared Freid. We're here every Thursday in the lounge. Keep sending your emails, jtrainpodcast@gmail.com. Back next week. Boom.